The market is a punishing field where weakness is exploited instantly. Financial ruin is the inevitable outcome for those lacking rigid, unwavering discipline. You must cultivate an iron will if you intend to survive this game. Remember that the spoils only belong to the prepared and strictly controlled. The vast majority of traders consistently fail due to fundamental errors. They ignore the foundational, proven truths established by market masters. These truths are not theories, but hard lessons paid for in capital and despair. Success requires adherence to these foundational principles at all costs. It is necessary to face the harsh realities of your own trading shortcomings immediately. Ignoring core principles is a fatal error that guarantees eventual liquidation. We must confront the common pitfalls that destroy promising careers prematurely. Understand that trading ignorance is simply unforgivable in this serious endeavor. What follows are the immutable laws forged by the legendary W.D. Gann. He extracted these rules from decades of observation and calculated risk management. These are not suggestions. They are the bedrock of market survival and prosperity. You must commit these laws to memory and practice them daily. The journey of a speculator is often a solitary one, marked by the intense pressure of making high-stakes decisions alone. It is easy to lose perspective, to be swayed by the noise of the crowd, or to falter in your discipline after a series of setbacks. This is why we created this channel, to serve as a constant source of these timeless principles, a place you can return to not just to learn, but to recalibrate your mindset. If you are committed to the path of a professional speculator, subscribe to our channel and return to these lessons. They are here to provide not just knowledge, but reinforcement and perspective when you need it most. Gann's phenomenal success was never based on fortunate guesses or sheer luck. His longevity and wealth stemmed directly from relentless adherence to his own systematic methods. You must recognize that discipline is the core engine of consistent profitability. Adopt his level of seriousness or prepare to exit the game entirely. You must fully internalize the understanding that discipline is your single greatest trading asset. It is the only force capable of overriding destructive human tendencies like hope and fear. Without it, your brilliant analysis and perfect timing mean absolutely nothing. Discipline ensures you execute the plan, even when your emotions scream otherwise. The market is an efficient predator that senses and exploits every weakness immediately. If you choose to ignore these 5 foundational rules, prepare for the consequences. The relentless mechanism of the market will systematically take every dollar you possess. Your defiance against proven methods guarantees the maximum financial penalty. Your very first task is to fully acknowledge the serious and unforgiving nature of speculating. This is not a casual hobby, but a demanding profession requiring total commitment. Treat the market with the profound respect it commands, or suffer its brutal indifference. Recognize that consistent effort and sobriety are required for every single trade. Preparation is the critical defense against inevitable market devastation and surprise. A solid plan executed without deviation is your only safeguard against ruin. We must immediately begin examining the specifics of Gann's invaluable counsel. Pay close attention, for these rules define the difference between victory and liquidation. The foundational error of the novice is the refusal to accept a loss when it occurs. You must never, under any circumstance, average down on a losing position. Cut your losses ruthlessly short the moment the market proves your initial assessment incorrect. This preservation of capital is the highest priority you maintain. The biggest fool in the market is the one who substitutes hope for decisive, immediate action. They hold stubbornly onto a position while their precious capital evaporates daily. Hope is a dangerous intoxicant that paralyzes the mind during moments of necessary retreat. Accept the mistake, take the small loss, and move on to the next verifiable opportunity. View a properly placed stop-loss not as a sign of weakness, but as necessary insurance. It is a mandatory defensive mechanism against unexpected and volatile movements. Never remove or widen a stop once it has been placed and agreed upon. Allowing the market to dictate the loss size shows a profound lack of control. Before you commit any capital, you must decide the precise maximum amount you are willing to risk. This loss threshold must be determined objectively, not emotionally, prior to execution. Once the trade is active, you must follow the predetermined plan exactly without hesitation. Your discipline must supersede your urge to interfere with the necessary defense. A small loss is simply the cost of doing business, a necessary tuition fee paid to the market. Allowing a small, manageable error to turn into a devastating loss is managerial failure. Catastrophic losses are often permanent, removing you from the ability to compound future gains. Preserve your core capital so you always retain the option to fight another day. Averaging down on a failing position is the guaranteed path towards self-destruction. This action is the ultimate gambler's death wish, rooted in pride and stubbornness. It shows you are committed to being right rather than being profitable. Avoid this seductive trap completely if you desire long-term success. Never forget that the market is always demonstrably correct in the short term regarding price direction. If your position is losing money, you are definitively the one who is operating on a flawed premise. Fighting the established trend is a direct challenge to forces far greater than your individual capital. Accept the market's verdict quickly and reserve your energy for better setups later. When the price moves against you decisively, it confirms that your initial judgment was flawed. Instead of blaming external factors, accept this consequence with absolute sobriety. Acknowledging your error swiftly prevents further capital bleed and emotional damage. Pay the market its fee and focus solely on the next high-probability setup. The cost of maintaining a stubborn, incorrect position dramatically exceeds any potential temporary profit. Pride and ego have no place in this arena. They are expensive emotional indulgences. True professional trading requires the humility to admit error and immediately rectify the situation. Do not allow psychological defects to compromise your financial survival. The second vital rule is to guard fiercely against the destructive temptation of overtrading. Impatience is a silent, insidious killer of trading capital and sound judgment. You must cultivate the supreme ability to wait patiently for the ideal moment to strike. Excessive activity is usually symptomatic of a desperate need to constantly feel involved. You must never trade merely for the false excitement or the thrill of activity. Trading based on boredom or emotional impulse guarantees suboptimal entry and exit points. True market opportunities do not appear constantly but only emerge under specific conditions. Wait patiently for the clear signal that aligns precisely with your established strategy. Holding too many simultaneous positions severely dilutes your necessary analytical focus. This dispersal of attention inevitably leads to sloppy monitoring and poor execution management. Quality control over a few trades is always superior to chaotic management of many. Reduce your exposure until you can manage every position with precision. Using excessive leverage guarantees emotional paralysis the moment the market begins to fluctuate violently. When too much capital is at risk, fear prevents rational decision-making during crises. Trade with a position size that allows you to think clearly and without panic. Proper sizing is the necessary foundation for executing sound psychological control. The market presents countless small, enticing opportunities every day designed to tempt your involvement. These distractions often lead to low-probability trades that drain capital through accumulated commissions. You must develop the resolve and mental fortress required to resist these persistent temptations. Discipline means recognizing the difference between noise and a genuinely high-quality setup. Your energy must be focused exclusively on identifying quality, high-probability trade setups. Learn to filter out the endless stream of market noise and conflicting short-term volatility. By selecting only the best situations, you drastically improve your expected return ratio. Ignore the mediocre and wait for the outstanding opportunities only. True restraint in the market is a profound form of competitive power over the impatient masses. You must learn the crucial skill of being completely inactive when no clear opportunity presents itself. Do not feel compelled to deploy capital simply because you feel you should be trading. Inactivity during uncertainty is often the wisest and most profitable action possible. Maintaining small, calculated position sizes ensures your prolonged survival in this unforgiving endeavor. Survival is the absolute prerequisite for eventual prosperity and compounding wealth creation. Risking too much in one trade jeopardizes your entire future earning potential. Focus on securing the ability to participate in the long game above all else. The third unbreakable rule demands that you treat your trading capital with the highest respect. View this money not as disposable income, but as sacred business equity vital to your operation. This capital is the inventory and machinery of your financial enterprise, deserving rigorous protection. Any casual disrespect toward this money guarantees its eventual depletion. You must rigidly separate your dedicated trading funds from your personal daily living expenses immediately. Mixing these two sources introduces catastrophic emotional pressure into your decision-making process. Never speculate with capital that is urgently required for rent, food, or critical survival needs. Trading must utilize surplus risk capital only, insulating it from personal desperation. Consider the actions of a successful, sober businessman running a reliable enterprise. He does not gamble his essential inventory or machinery on wild, unpredictable speculation. Likewise, you must adopt a professional mindset when allocating your trading funds. Your capital must be deployed systematically based on studied risk, not hopeful chance. It is absolutely mandatory that you maintain a detailed, comprehensive record of every single trade executed. Proper analysis of these records immediately reveals painful yet expensive habitual mistakes you are making. Review your successes and failures to isolate repeatable patterns of profitability and ruin. Objective record-keeping is the only path to self-correction and continuous improvement in this field. You must meticulously account for all trading expenses, including commissions, slippage, and fees. Failing to deduct these costs distorts your real profit calculation and understanding of profitability. You need to know the true operational cost of doing business to determine if your strategy is viable. Treat this endeavor like an actual professional venture seeking maximum efficiency and minimized overhead. Understand this pursuit for what it truly is: a demanding professional vocation. It requires the absolute seriousness and dedication one would apply to law or medicine. Abandon the amateur mindset that treats speculation as a source of casual entertainment or quick riches. Only those who approach trading with professionalism survive the long, punishing haul. The fourth crucial rule insists that you eradicate all emotional inputs from your decision process. Never, under any circumstances, allow the psychological poisons of hope or fear to dictate immediate market action. These two emotions are the primary destroyers of capital in the hands of the undisciplined speculator. Your trading must be an exercise in pure, cold, and calculated execution of a verified plan. Hope is the emotion that encourages you to stay in a clearly failing position, allowing losses to balloon uncontrollably. Conversely, fear forces you out of winning positions prematurely, sacrificing necessary profit potential. These dual emotional flaws systematically prevent you from cutting losers and letting winners run successfully. Conquer both hope and fear to achieve true psychological market mastery. Your trades must be predicated entirely upon verifiable price action, objective facts, and calculated analysis alone. Emotional impulses must be instantly suppressed and replaced by the rigid logic of your system. If the facts shift, your position must shift. If the facts remain, you must hold firm. Trading must become a mechanical exercise executed without passion or personal investment. Developing an emotional attachment to any specific position is a direct pathway leading toward predictable ruin. The market cares nothing for your investment thesis or your personal desire to be correct immediately. You must maintain complete detachment from every trade you initiate and manage. Exit when the predetermined condition is met, regardless of how you personally feel about the stock. The battle for profits is first and foremost a battle fought within your own mind every day. You must actively conquer and eliminate any lingering mental weakness, doubt, or excessive greed. The market is an efficient system that ruthlessly exploits every discovered psychological vulnerability. Only mental fortitude separates the successful survivor from the inevitable loser. Adopt the paradoxical mindset that requires extreme patience when your positions are performing profitably. You must allow winners the necessary time to fully mature and deliver maximum potential gains. Conversely, you must be brutally instantly quick when confronted with a clear, inevitable loss. This asymmetry in action is the hallmark of the truly professional speculator. The final critical rule demands complete self-reliance. You must rely solely on your own rigorous analysis. Never base any significant market action on tips, rumors, or unverified information obtained elsewhere. If you have not performed the complete due diligence, the trade does not exist for you. True market professionals are self-contained decision-makers who trust their verified systems. Outsider tips, regardless of the source, are generally worthless distractions from the real work of analysis. These pieces of hearsay usually originate from those hoping to manipulate the price or those already holding large losses. Following the advice of unknown third parties is an abdication of your professional responsibility. Dedicate your energy only to your verifiable data and tested strategies. True professional traders understand the necessity of independent confirmation for every signal generated. They meticulously confirm potential opportunities using their own charting, volume, and timing analysis. They never execute based on blind hearsay or the exaggerated confidence of an outsider. Relying on others exposes you to unnecessary manipulation and high-risk entries. If you choose to rely upon the unverified guidance of others, you guarantee your own future failure. When the trade inevitably turns against you, you will be entirely alone in bearing the financial consequence. Outsiders cannot provide the necessary stop-loss placement or the critical exit decision you require. Take full ownership of your analysis and your execution to ensure long-term accountability. These 5 fundamental rules constitute the foundational bedrock of lifelong trading survival in any environment. They are designed to protect your capital from both external market volatility and internal psychological weakness. Ignoring even one of these established principles severely compromises your ability to persist and profit. Commit them to memory, practice them daily, and internalize their absolute necessity. Consistent success in this demanding field requires an unrelenting commitment to constant study and improvement. It demands strict mechanical discipline in execution and superhuman patience in waiting for the optimal setup. Never mistake temporary luck for lasting skill. The market eventually weeds out the fortunate but unprepared. Maintain diligence, sobriety, and a profound respect for the inherent risks involved always. The time for reflection is over. You must implement these fundamental rules into your trading structure immediately. Delaying their adoption guarantees continued subpar performance and unnecessary capital destruction. The ultimate market price for indiscipline is absolute financial liquidation and complete failure. Choose discipline and survival, or choose ignorance and inevitable financial ruin. For those eager to deepen their understanding of William Gann's groundbreaking work and explore the foundational concepts that underpin strategies, we highly recommend his classic treatise, Truth of the Stock Tape. This seminal work delves into the intricate world of market cycles, the psychology of speculation, and the mathematical harmony Gann observed in financial movements. While the insights contained within are timeless and invaluable for any aspiring or seasoned trader, it is important to note that the original historical charts presented in the book can be of low quality and challenging to decipher, reflecting the printing limitations of its era. Nevertheless, the theoretical framework and philosophical underpinnings it provides are indispensable for grasping Gann's unique perspective on market dynamics. Dive into this rich historical text to connect directly with the mind of a trading legend. Find Truth of the Stock Tape by William Gann via the link in the description below, and begin your journey toward mastering the market's hidden rhythms.